and go into screen share. And hopefully this is going to work. There we go. Let me get everybody out of here. Over here. There we go. Okay, so welcome to my asynchronous session for 3270. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the land that I get to live, work, and play on. Today, I'm coming to you from Maple Ridge, which is located on the traditional territories of the Katzie and Kwantlen First Nations. I also work at BCIT, and I acknowledge with respect and humility that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish Nations, Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations. This Creative Commons license that is attached to this presentation requires that reusers give credit to the creator, which is myself. It allows reusers to distribute, remix, adapt, and build upon the material in any medium or format for non-commercial purposes only. If others modify or adapt the material, they must license the modified material under the identical terms. So today, we're going to talk about going on a vacation and how you book a trip. If you watched my asynchronous collaboration, you would have seen that it pays to shop around and that third parties are not always the way to book your trip. That's not always the cheapest and the safest way to book. So when you hear that, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that noise? Is it excitement, anxiety, nothing? You hate planes? What's the first thing that comes to mind? I know my wife is probably anxiety because she doesn't like to fly that much, but anybody else?
Oh, I love to go on trips. It's very exciting.
Jen?
I think it's pretty exciting, but you don't see my long legs right now. I also feel like discomfort for a while, but you know, I suffer through it most of the time, and I feel like it's the excitement going somewhere overpowers the uncomfortable kind of like feeling. But
Yeah.
and on the way back home, it can be sobering. You know, coming back home sometimes is not the greatest feeling, and then be all jet lagged and stuff. But no, generally speaking, I love traveling. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Okay, Sandra, I don't know if you got the beginning of that. I had a video of a plane taking off and just asking everybody what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear a plane taking off? You know, any excitement, any anxiety, nothing. You hate planes.
I think a little bit of both. I love travel, but I feel like as I keep getting older, I get a little more scared about the takeoff, and yeah.
How about you, Tammy?
Oh, you know how I feel. I can't stand being on the plane, but I agree with the gentleman saying that the excitement of getting to the place wins. So I go on the plane.
Yeah. No, I love to travel. My wife and I, we recently bought a vacation home in Portugal. So the next couple of slides, we're just going to be talking about booking your travel plans and what's the best way to do that. So when you're going on a trip, do you use a third party, travel agent, or directly booking online? What do you guys use?
I've
We
done
just
all
book
of the above.
online. Yeah.
Jen?
Yeah, the flight we just book online. Depends like the details of the trip, right? Depends what kind of travel you're into. Like if you have kids and stuff, you may want to be a little bit more organized. If you like a free feeling butterfly backpacker, maybe just a flight, and then in the first hostel you will meet some people and they tell you where to go. I guess you don't want to limit yourself with your trip like too much. Like,
How about you, Jen? What do you use?
I've done all of the above.
Sandra?
I just book directly.
With the
I
airline?
do all my research. No, I do, with the airline or with the hotel, or I do all that.
Well, according to Travel Perk in 2024, 80% of travelers booked online. And out of those 80%, what do you guys think is leading the pack? Who's number one? What generation?
Snowbirds, not snowbirds, sorry, the
Gen X or whatever. That's the next one. Millennials.
Millennials. It's actually
Millennials.
millennials and Gen Z are the
There we go.
ones
oh
that
really, hey?
are the ones
I'm
that
a
are leading the pack.
statistic. I'm a statistic.
Okay, so booking online. So if we're saying with booking online, who's the number one site? Who do you think?
Expedia.
Expedia, yeah.
I use Google Flights or Kayak Vacations, and then
Oh yeah, kayak is a big
Google.
one, yeah.
Booking.com is number one,
Hmm.
with Expedia being number two.
Hmm.
And then we
I
have the other ones. We have Airbnb, Kayak, Hotwire, Agoda,
Hmm.
Hotels.com, and VRBO. So with all of those, we have Booking.com, Expedia, and then all the other ones. What do you think is in common with all of these, besides them all being online?
They're all owned by the same person.
They are all owned by Booking.com or
Oh, wow.
Expedia. Airbnb is the only one so far that I've been able to find is a standalone. Well, and I'm booking it. We've booked our trip to go away, and I'm booking rental cars, and I use different sites, and I one rental cars, and it even says rental cars powered by Booking.com. So again, there's things that everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to use Kayak, or I'm going to, well, it's all comes back to the same mothership that we have of Booking.com or Expedia. Okay, so I have a question for you. So in talking about Booking and Expedia, they own several sites. Where do you think you're going to get the best deal? Are you going to get it through a third party, such as one of the ones we've talked about? Are you going to get it directly with the airline? Or are you going to get it with the travel agent? Now, if we had a bigger group, I would have put you into a breakout room. But since there's only, 4 of us here and myself, we might as well just keep going. So what would you do? Who would you use? Third party, online? I know Jen likes to use all of them. So, but if you wanted to pick one, which one would you use? Who do you think is going to give you the best deal? And why?
I guess if you want to be a half decent human and you like people and you want to support somebody and somebody's business, maybe the travel agent like down the block, if they still exist, I have no idea. Like, do they still exist? Like, there's still people in offices trying to sell you flights and stuff.
There
Or
are
like
some
Flight Center.
cruise ship centers are probably one of your biggest ones.
Yeah, I guess if you want to
useful
go
when
there
you're doing
to
a
support
large group.
somebody.
Sorry.
It's all good.
What's that, Jen? Nope.
I just think like supporting somebody local would be good. But
Okay.
Travel agents are useful when you're doing a large group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's really no right answers. Who's going to give you the best deal? Third party. The nice thing about it, using a third party is the unfortunate thing is the money goes directly to them. They may be able to get you a better deal they buy in bulk, and they buy the airline might give them a deal of buying a group package. They may give you a better selection. The nice thing, if you ever go onto their websites, they'll give you that calendar and they'll show you the cheapest days to fly on. So if you're flexible, it's easier to book that way. But the thing is, sometimes there's some hidden charges in there that we don't know about. With the airline, the money goes directly to them. They may offer you a better price, but again, you need to compare apples to apples. Sometimes if you're on a third-party site, you'll see, for example, Air Transat powered by, flight by Porter. So Air Transat has formed an alliance with Porter, and it's not an actually Air Transat airplane, it's a Porter airplane you're going on. So if you went on to Air Transat site, and now it might be more expensive, but if you actually went on to Porter's website, it may be less expensive. It gives you a better customer service. If you ever have a problem with your airline, they're going to give you preferential treatment because you booked with them. Then if you booked with a third party, they're going to tell you, go phone Booking or go phone Expedia, or Kayak or Google, whoever you may have used, and have them deal with your problems. With the travel agent, they'll find you better travel options. They'll give you better options if you have multiple connections, several flights that you may need to take on. Personalized service, like you said, if you have a group, you go, we have 15, 20 people that we want to go. They give you they give you that nice treatment that sometimes it's one-on-one. You get to go to their office and actually see somebody, as opposed to dealing with somebody with just a generated website. Unfortunately, they're not like a third party or an airline. They're not available all 24 hours, 7 days a week. So there is really no right answer. You just need to shop around and have a look and to see which one works for you. I've gone like looking at flights, and you'll save. Sometimes they're exactly the same. Sometimes they're $40, $50 cheaper with the airline, and sometimes they're $30, $40 cheaper with third party. So there's really no right answer, but it's just spending some time and shopping around.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Michael, do you know anything about everybody just being owned by those two companies? And if you actively looking for flights, they'll probably start playing with your wallet and your emotions, and throwing things around and make you kind of like.
It's funny when you even compare the same. Like you look at everyone that Booking looks at, and you look at who like you go into rental cars and you go into Kayak and Agoda, and you'll see 3 different prices, and they're all owned by Booking. And it's really weird at how it's like, hey, your parent company is the same person, yet you have all these different rates. Well, here's a quick little picture, the vacation you want versus the vacation you can afford. But if you just spend a little time shopping around, the picture on the left can be reality as opposed to the picture on the right. So don't let this be you. So again, we ended up with the same noise. How do we feel about the noise now? Are we still excited? We still somewhat confident that we know what we're doing?
Give us tips on how to get free baggage, so we don't have to pay for all the extra baggage.
To get free baggage is literally sometimes I have actually found it cheaper if you pay for your luggage as opposed to buying the ticket that your luggage is included on. Because you look at, and yes, sometimes, and it depends, like they'll have like Air Canada, you'll have 100% member points and you'll have to pay for your luggage, or you get 150% member points. Well, if you're not a member, and then you look at it, go, well, you're going to charge me $200 for that ticket, and you're only charging me $75 for my checked luggage. And we'll pay the less price for the ticket and pay the $75. And it's the same thing. Your luggage is going to get there the same way as if you had paid. And so they do these little things that, oh, we're giving you this extra stuff, but it's really not saving you any money. You just have to look at what you're getting. And if you're a member of one of those, points clubs, and you want to spend the extra money to try and get free flights at the end of the day, yeah, it's a great way to go. So I hope that you've become more comfortable in knowing that a third party is not always the best way. And that you need to shop around and have a look to see who actually is going to give you the best deal. But if you are looking at booking a flight, this is my little piece of heaven. This is the view out our kitchen window at sunset. So this is where I get to spend 10 weeks so far, 10 weeks a year with my holidays. I get to spend here. This is my little piece of heaven.
It's a very big washing machine.
Yes. So thank you for joining me on my Synchronous collaboration. Is there any points that you may need clarification on? Anybody want me to try and clear some foggy points that I may have not talked about?
No, you did. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Jennifer.
just one. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
No, I guess over the days of like smoking on airplanes and bringing a surfboard and my bike on the plane for free.
There's still ashtrays in the seats on airplanes. I still don't understand that. It's like for years you can't smoke on an airplane, and yet
That's an old plane then.
They still give me the ashtray. It's like, okay, and you put smoke detectors in the washroom. So you know exactly what is this for again?
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, I think it's no everyone's clear as mud, as I like to say. So if everyone is good, that's it for
Thank
my
you.
synchronous collaboration. I'm just going to
Thank you so
stop the
much.
share here. There we go. So this will get posted on the on the Synchronous Learning Hub on Moodle. If anyone else wants to see it or you want to go over it, please feel free to feed back or feed forward. And I appreciate everyone for being here tonight.
Cool. And you all done with the course?
I am done with the course. Hopefully
Awesome.
Monday, register for capstone.
Oh, who you gonna?
I'm done.
Who is your priority
As you can
teacher?
see, my wife is thrilled.
Yay, it's over.
I'm hoping on getting Jackie.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah. Yeah,
By choice.
well, you have a choice of 4, but apparently if you wait too long, because there's another one of our instructors at BCIT that he only had an option of 2. So when I clicked on the March 3rd one, there's still 4 available. So I guess the 4 that do it are Glenn, Jackie, Karen, and Doug.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified of Glenn, so I don't want Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
terrified of Glenn? Oh, really?
I'm terrified of Glenn. I've had him for 2
Why?
courses, and he's just way too smart for me. So
Yeah.
Oh, he switched on. Yeah.
Doug,
Jackie,
Doug,
I'm surprised.
if
said
anyone's
Jackie.
ever had Doug Major for an instructor,
Doug Major.
he's amazing. Like he messes with your mind, but in a good way. And I did the training 3002 in person, and you are mentally drained at the end of the week, but in a good way.
Okay.
Oh,
Sounds
Okay.
good
great.
suggestion.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good
Okay,
night.
awesome.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for everything. Okay, bye.